For this week, we are going to cover our first responsive layout, which is Flexbox. So you guys are going to learn about the CSS box model and what a virtual box is. And then you'll specifically learn how to use Flexbox, which is it's a nice responsive layout that is pretty easy to use. It does have a lot of little CSS commands that let you customize it, but in its simplest form to get it working, there's only a couple of commands that you need to use. So it is actually pretty simple to implement. The web-based readings cover everything that we are going to go over this week. And we will start with a traditional box. And then we get into the flex box. Okay, so when we cover the traditional box, we're going to talk about what a virtual box is and what CSS kind of makes up the box. It's your content plus some CSS. And then we cover Flexbox, and then we will specifically cover styling that kind of goes with Flexbox and traditional boxes. And then once you get done with those readings, you're going to go through the lecture demo. And this kind of brings in all of that material from those readings, and it gives you quite a few examples. Okay, and then I link out to some interactive sites at W3 Schools so you can practice. Okay, and again, tons and tons of examples. And then for those of you that want to see how it looks outside of the lecture, okay, you can get it by itself. And then if you view page source, you can actually see what I did for the CSS. Okay, so again, going through the traditional box first, and different positioning schemes, and then we get into the flex box. So you make sure you read through all that material, and if there is a link to an interactive exercise, you should go through and do it. That just helps you understand the material better so that when you come down and do your assignment, the assignment will be easier. So you're going to start with the textbook assignment. And as always, we start with setting up our folder structure and our files. And so I'm basically giving you some starter files. Okay, and the farm file has all these lovely animals in it. So you're going to want to download all of those. Song Snippets has an external CSS file. And then we're going to be modifying that farm file. We're actually going to save it under several different names. And we are going to be using it to explore these different ways that we can configure virtual boxes. So we're going to do traditional box, and we are also going to use it for Flexbox. Okay, so you want to make sure you carefully follow these instructions for naming the file so that you don't lose anything. So we're going to simply start with the farm file, and you're going to be creating boxes using the traditional box model. And you'll notice there's a little issue with the traditional box model, and I tell you how to fix that. Okay, so make sure you save all your changes. And then you are going to take that file and save it as Farm Flexbox. Okay, and then you're going to edit the Farm Flexbox file. Okay, so at this point, we're done with Farm, moving on to Farm Flexbox. Okay, and so this kind of walks you through how to convert that traditional box into a Flexbox. Okay, and then we're going to do yet another variation This is going to be absolute positioning. So um, you are going to copy the farm file. Okay. And so you can either open farm.html and save it as farm position, or, out in your Windows Explorer, you can find the file, you right click, copy, paste, and rename. Okay, so it just depends, on how you want to go about renaming. But you do want to open farm position for editing. And then you are going to use absolute positioning. So you're going to see how that works in comparison to traditional box and flexbox. And when you're done, it should look something like this. And then we're going to move on to song snippets. Okay, so with the song snippets, we are going to be doing quite a bit of styling. It's going to be flexbox styling. And we are also going to kind of reposition some of the songs. And then you are going to transfer everything to the web. Oh, and don't forget to enter done in the Dropbox, because that's how I know that it's ready for grading. For the lab assignment. So for the lab assignment, you are going to create two different pages. One is going to be a traditional box, and the other one is going to be a flex box. And you can certainly use the same content for both. It is your CSS styling that is going to be different. Okay, so I've kind of given you a little skeleton here that you can use. I've also given you an example. Okay, and I did use this. And this one is traditional box. So, if you resize it, you'll notice that the boxes kind of move around as traditional box does. Okay. So this is traditional box. And this is the CSS that I used. So you can click on that and take a look. And then what I did for Flexbox is I simply took that same content and I converted it over into a Flexbox. And so here's the revision. And I've got a link to the revised CSS. But immediately you can tell that it's Flexbox, because in Flexbox, the virtual boxes, the sizes change. So you can see this is quite large. And so if I go through and resize it, you can see how the box sizes change, whereas in traditional boxes, the box size does not change, the location changes. And here, the size of the boxes is going to change. Okay, so this is Flexbox. And I did include a link to that CSS as well. Now, if you want to use different content in each, that is fine, totally up to you. But when you are done with both, you are going to need to link everything into your assignment page. So you'll have a textbook section for the textbook exercises, and then you'll have your lab section where you will have traditional and Flexbox pages linked in. And then the grading rubric is down at the bottom. So that is your assignment. And also this week, we have what I call instructor check-in. And I put it this week because sometimes people find the box models and Flexbox confusing. So instructor check-in, this is an easy 15 points for you guys. You basically need to pop into my live stream hours or schedule an appointment with me. You can just email me. And then we can meet, and this is my agenda. Okay, so I want to know what questions you have. I want to know what learning activities you like the best, and I want to know what learning activities you like the least. And I have included my live stream hours. And then I have also allowed a text upload. So if you are busy, which a lot of online students are, I know a lot of you work and you have families. If this meeting, in person with me or, in live stream doesn't work, you certainly can submit to this Dropbox, or you can simply email me the answers. Okay? I will accept any of them. Okay, so this is your opportunity to ask me questions and my opportunity to get to know you a little better. Okay, so easy 15 points, guys. Now, if you are working on the assignments, any of the assignments, and you run into problems and you can't figure them out, make sure you transfer them to the web and then email me and I will take a look and get back to you. And I do check email every day. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy working with this. If you want additional practice, especially with Flexbox, you will see that I have a lot of resources down here, including a game. So you may find Flexbox Froggy fun and helpful. So hopefully you guys all have an awesome week and let me know if you have any questions.